Today I'm going to show you how to make something super duper delicious with pumpkin puree, and it's amazing. You're going to love it, and it's healthy, and that's a win-win. Okay, so today we're going to make pumpkin protein balls. Now this is a recipe that is super easy to whip up. It's a no-bake recipe, and really, I mean, you can use a variety of different things in your house, but today we're specifically going to make pumpkin ones because we are part of a collaboration from Andrea, Digging for Health, called Pumpkin Palooza. So be sure to check out the link in the description box below so that you can check out all the other channels that are part of this collaboration and get some really great ideas for what to use the pumpkins for that are either growing in the garden or just canned pumpkin. We're going to use canned pumpkin today for this recipe in particular since we're not baking it. I do feel like canned pumpkin, it's a little bit thicker. It works really well for what we're going to use it for. But we do have pumpkins in the garden, and so I will be doing some roasting of those and baking with those in the next couple weeks here. Let's just get right into it. I'll kind of show you the ingredients that we're going to use, and then we'll whip them up and put them in the fridge, and they're ready to eat right away. Okay, so the ingredients used in this recipe is, like I said, I'm going to use canned pumpkin. We're going to need honey. I want pumpkin pie spice, so I have both old-fashioned and rolled oats here. Peanut butter. Any protein powder is going to work. This is a really great go-to recipe if you are on any kind of diet or trying to meet any kind of fitness goals but need a little bit of sweetness in your life. If you can have self-control, because they do kind of taste like cookies, you can, have one or two of these and kind of satisfy that sweet tooth. So let's go ahead and jump right in and we'll make these. Okay, so we're going to start in our bowl with our wet ingredients, the stuff that's going to hold everything together. Now, I actually don't measure this recipe. I go strictly off of feel and texture, and so you'll kind of see up close here what that looks like. If you are somebody who wants exact measurements, you might come back to me later on, because we'll see. We'll see where we go with this. All right, so I have my peanut butter here, and I'm just going to put some in my bowl. Now, I'm going to give you estimates on approximately how much I'm putting in here, and we'll just kind of go, and depending on how many you want to make is obviously going to alter your measurements. So this is that's about a half cup of peanut butter here. Okay, so we're going to keep that in there, and we're going to add in our honey, and you can always add more as you go. So just start with, a little bit here and there, and then we can continue to add if we feel like we need more of anything. That is probably like a third cup of honey. And then I'm going to actually use my whisk to whisk those together. And it's really nice and thick. I'm definitely going to add more because I want to make way more. I might use this whole thing. All right, so altogether that's probably about a cup of peanut butter now. So I'm going to add a little more honey now. All right, that's another about third cup. So we have about a cup of peanut butter, about 2/3 cup of honey, and again, we're just going to mix that all together. Nice and thick. And now you want that to be thick because we're going to add in the pumpkin. Now the pumpkin's going to thin it out quite a bit. We're going to put in about a third cup of pumpkin. Now because pumpkin is not a sticky texture, you don't want to put too much in or your pumpkin or your protein balls are not going to stick together. So just do a little bit at a time. But like I said, we're going to do about a third cup here. We'll start with that. Oh, that smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells really good. All right, that is nice and loose. Well, not too loose. You can kind of see here. It definitely, you can tell that it'll hold things together. It's not too runny. but it's not too thick. I can easily move the whisk through it. That's what we're looking for. All right, now I'm going to add in the spices to this. So again, measurements, not my strong suit. So I'm going to give you estimates here. We have a cinnamon, which is my favorite. And we're going to do, it's about 2 teaspoons probably, almost a tablespoon. To add some nutmeg in there. Now, nutmeg is kind of a strong flavor. Some people don't like nutmeg. It smells really good. I'm just going to give it a little sprinkling. I have like the little top here. This is probably going to be, I mean, less than probably 1/8 of a teaspoon here. I'm going to do the same thing with ginger. Just a little sprinkling. I like allspice a lot, and then again, it's a traditional pumpkin pie flavoring. So we're going to sprinkle that in there. And then we have our cloves. Cloves are very strong, so you want to do that sparingly, and you can always add more. But again, we're kind of doing a sprinkling with all of these. And then we're going to give it a nice stir. Okay, so when you smell it, it should smell like peanut butter pumpkin pie almost. Oh yeah, that smells super good. So there's our wet ingredients. Now we're going to add in our oats and our protein. And we're just going to add equal parts of both of the oats. And you can kind of see the difference in here. So here's the, oops, dropping it all over. Here's the old-fashioned oats. They're nice, big, rolled oats. These ones are the quick cut. They've already been broken down. I like the combination of both, like I said. And we'll just sprinkle a little bit in there. And we'll just do a little bit at a time. Again, equal parts. And then depending on how much protein you want, the protein, because protein is meant to absorb water, this does help things kind of cohesively stick together. So depending on how much protein you want to put in it, I mean, you could put, you know, multiple scoops in here. I think I'm just going to do 2 scoops. What is the serving on this one? This one's actually 2 level scoops of a serving. So we're going to do that, which is, this one is only 15 grams of protein, but some of them are really nice and high protein. This is a very powdery. All right, so we're going to mix that. Now the first little bit should make it easy to mix, and it's going to feel like, just like a batter. Okay, once you get that first little bit in there, now we're going to add in our fillings, or just our little add-ins, I should say. I have the dried cranberries here. I'll do maybe like a 1/2 cup of those. And then I think I'll do, that's actually plenty. I don't need any more chocolate chips than that. So that's just maybe about a 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/3 cup of chocolate chips. You're going to mix those around. Now the only thing left to do is to continue to add oats until you get a very sticky texture, like you're going to be making cookies and dropping cookies on a pan. So we're going to keep adding oats until we get that, and like we're going to form balls, and we will just put them on some parchment paper and pop them in the fridge so that they can solidify a little bit and we can eat them. has structure to it. You can tell it's not runny in here anymore. This is going to be able to form nice size balls. So you could definitely press this into a pan if you'd rather do it that way. It's not going to cut super hard. It's actually a very soft textured protein bite. So again, you do want to keep them in the refrigerator when they're not being edible, when they're not being eaten. Not being edible, they're always edible. When they're not being eaten, definitely keep them in the refrigerator. It will keep them staying together since we have honey in there and we have the peanut butter in there. That'll help those stay nice and together. As soon as they kind of hit room temperature and warm up a bit, they start to become a little more loose. So you can put them whatever size you want. You can do bite-sized ones. You can do ones that you actually need to take a bite of. Whatever size you want, but I'll just kind of show you the size that I'm going to do, and I'll put them on some parchment paper. I'll pop them in the fridge, and then later on we'll enjoy them. Well, I'll probably have the kids test them a little bit right now, but we'll put them in the fridge, eat them later, and they're going to be delicious. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Continue to watch so you can see what size I'm going to put in this little bowl here, and go ahead and make them. Let me know in the comments down below if you make them. Don't forget to check out Andrea at Digging for Health. Again, she's hosting this Pumpkin Palooza, and there's going to be a ton of really great pumpkin recipes. So make it. Let me know if you do. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Get all full of the mixture, which they probably will, because again, the peanut butter and the honey, when they're at that warm temperature, they become very sticky. Just put a little water on your hands, and that helps to keep your hands nice and clean and to continue the rolling with no issues. So these will go in the fridge. We'll eat them in just a little bit. Dog, back it up. Once you guys both put your hand in the frame. Not like that. Like you're gonna receive one, you goon. Give me your hand. So good. Good. Ready.